to today. So we're just gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna pull up my text. I've got some preliminary stuff that I translated that I'm kind of embarrassed to show you guys, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, let me just
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adam, for Adam agreed very last second to do this class because we had one scheduled, but they couldn't make it today. So Adam very graciously agreed to.
yeah, and I just want to apologize. I had, if it does get rough or if it's a little dirty, for all you guys. Um,
We'll write a letter to K-Drip J.
dude, hold on. Where did it go? There we go. Door to emptiness. Oh, there we go. Okay. You guys let me here. Let me make it a little bigger. Oh, too big. Is that big enough for you guys, or should I make it a little bigger here?
That's
Looks
it could be a little
okay to
bit.
me.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
It's pretty good
Okay.
for me as well.
All right. So we left here on 460. And these notes down here, it's a way that when I go through and I try to prepare for class, if I see something that stands out in what we're currently studying, I kind of go back to some of the other texts that we've worked with to try to give me some context. So these are my notes. They're not Geshe-las. It's just like some basic stuff to kind of keep my head in the right places I'm trying to translate. So ona sheja chechen kunzo yina shi madru pe kaparta to pe tak pasam yina teme nupam ba pe chero. Does anybody get the ona for me?
Well then,
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I'm totally open. You guys like really helped me go. And I didn't know if just kind of on the fly, if you guys wanted to go through and just get the general concepts, or if you actually wanted to stop and translate each one of these.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do both. All right. Chen,
consider all things.
right? Okay, kunzo yina.
If they are deceptive.
Yeah. Are you saying that something's deceptive? If something's deceptive, shimadru.
Then it doesn't exist?
Yeah, it established as existing, right? And then what about the does anybody like that feel free, anybody to speak up. Does anybody out there have what a kaba usually is?
Yeah, well,
Something that
necessarily.
I was kind of hoping that some, other people in the chat might join in. But so whenever we read it, the tell here, if it's sarcastic, goes up or down.
Question. Sarcastic goes down, right?
So how would read it? Kabata.
Yeah.
Right. So let's consider all things. Are you saying that anything which is deceptive is necessarily or necessarily can't be established as existing? Does that look right to you guys?
Yes.
Top it up.
So good.
I totally agree.
Okay. Tope takpa tam yina. Tope takpa tam.
If things are.
You can see, obviously, these question marks down here mean that I got to a place to where like I said, I usually have like twice as much time to kind of come back and sit with these things. And I kind of look at it. I look at it a few times before we go into class. So this is kind of, I left off here. These question marks obviously mean I was having a hard time with it. So I need your help. Nuts.
Adam, what's outflow? Bob?
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the reason that I was thinking to use Bop was because it kind of fit in with the Seme Nupa, like having like a logical consequence, almost like the logical, like the outflow of a certain logical reasoning. Does that make sense?
Adam, is this related to 459?
Let's see. Yeah, it
Oh
definitely is.
no. What happened in
what?
459?
Oh, with the Shayna. Dude,
Summer.
you're asking me, and
Well,
if it was 2 weeks in the future, I would know. But
uh,
yeah,
we kind of need it though, right? And fortunately, I don't think we have to go back to, or do we have to go back to 458, right? Can we get away with just knowing what 459 is? And
yeah. Let me do.
It
And I think some of this stuff would stand out far enough. Let's just okay. So therefore, Dana, Jadam mitap des drukching. So if something can be established as both being sound and unchangingness, or the
Mhm.
quality of being unchanging, then no deni tade yinkyan,
we're
right?
changing. Yeah.
Changing. Yeah. Changingness. The quality of being changing.
Yeah.
Deni tade. So those two things would have to be separate. They'd have to be different,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Deni tade yempe cha. So an aspect or a characteristic, that cha right there, those they would have to be separate characteristics. Teni tade yimbe, right?
Can that
Separate.
shall be conditioned too, though?
It can be conditioned,
Oh,
yeah, and
yeah.
that's just
Yeah, they
conditioned.
can, right.
But and I mean, I think it's just really a choice of words at that point.
Mhm.
You
In
know,
class, we said,
condition,
parts.
Oh, great. Oh, great, Utpala. Thank you.
and
Parts.
that's sometimes when I go with aspect and like, yeah. So Danny, here, let me highlight these things. And I feel like I'm getting because I'm a little nervous. So
I was just going to say, Adam, I know that it would be nice to move ahead and we started and it felt like a flow, but you don't have to rush through this, even though
okay,
just because I want to make sure our translators have time to know what we're talking about.
yeah, I'm getting
And
into
also make sure that we have time to know what we're talking about before the translators can figure out what we're talking about.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So you can't say those things are substantial because those two aren't substantial.
Mhm.
Okay, because and I think one of the reasons, if we wanted to grok from it, one of the basic concepts that I've carried over from the Dura is that anytime you consider two things as being separate, it's necessarily conceptual, right? That's a conceptual process. Making distinctions is conceptual. So you can't necessarily say that. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to waste time on that. Does that
You're
make
saying
sense?
that the act of dividing two things is.
Yeah, totally. It's conceptual, right?
Mhm.
I mean, because
Okay.
you have to say like, okay, part A is different from part B. There's some sort of, conceptual kind of like distinctions. Distinctions in themselves are inherently conceptual,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And so I think that's kind of like what I've caught from the past like 10 or 15 sections that we've been through in the past couple of classes, has been that we're still making to say that something is one is a conceptual process, but also to say that something is two, or that there are two aspects of one thing, is also a conceptual process. So we're still kind of we're flowing between direct perception and inference, right? And we're still trying to hone in on like, okay, well, what makes something direct? What makes something inferential, right? What makes something deductive? So he's kind of going through like what I've noticed, and there's something that I think I've realized, something that I think I've picked up on, is that he's touching on things that we've already hit in the Dura. And he's saying like, yo, like, because we had a whole chapter called Chik Dang Tare, right? And like the past like 3 classes has all kind of been a discussion about whether or not something is one or different. And even when you consider it from the aspect of something being like Zechik, right? Like Zechik, like we're still trying to distinguish because we keep hitting on this interplay between the two of them, and we can't quite find like, oh, dude, like, you know, you're telling me if I look at something like this computer, am I going off too far? I'm just trying to give some context maybe into where we've been.
What is the thing that is substantial or not substantial here? Zesu, is it the difference between the two, or is it the combination of the two?
This is where the wrench got thrown into my conceptual understanding. So we have always been taught by Geshe Michael, right, that you have sound. Sound is a changing thing. Sound itself is to perceive sound takes a direct perception, right, via the auditory consciousness that we've been going off of. But what about the quality or the aspect of sound which is changing? And what we've touched on, and the reason that I've been struggling with this for the past like 6 months, is because it appears that whenever we have a direct perception of sound, we also perceive its changiness. We have a direct perception of its changes, but we do not ascertain it. And that's when he was making the distinction between ngepa, right? He was saying ngepa, like to ascertain something is much different. So if you're asking me what's substantial here, I'm a little, I mean, I still don't know. I don't know, because I think you get to a point when you're analyzing direct perception, it always kind of deconstructs itself into this inferential process where you've got these sense perceptions that you're having, right? But then you have to label those things. And the minute you label anything, you know what I mean? Like,
So up to the first cheer,
yeah,
I want to say the changing sound changing is substantial, is a real thing in this school.
yeah.
But those two things, and
As you
those two
said, take them
things
out.
are different, okay?
That's the
And those two things are different, but the difference between those two things is not substantial.
100%.
That's not a real thing or a changing thing. And that's true because you don't see the difference between them with direct, accurate perception.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for summing it up, dude.
Okay, okay. All right.
But I mean, and this it has.
And if that's true, not guilty. And then if that's true, then what? Then what do we do?
Deni tade musunki mingo yina.
Oh, and guys, everybody,
Yes.
all of us,
Yes.
slower,
Yes.
slower, slower.
Migopa yina.
Right. The difference between those two is not something which is seen by a direct, accurate perception.
Which makes sense. That's what we were just saying, right? Anytime you see a difference in something, anytime you say, okay, the left side and the right side of this here cell phone, or the left side and the right side of this here laptop, that's a conceptual process, right? To make a distinction between left or right or up or down or colors or anything ultimately goes back to, and so, yeah, he's saying, no, it's not. It doesn't necessarily, it necessarily isn't the miga, right?
And
it cannot be direct and accurate.
Right.
It can't be a direct and accurate perception.
And then if that's true, right? Na kelte. Then the ta de yimba of those two, the difference between those two, or the aspect, the cha that is the difference between the two, then that is not a thing which is jesum
substantial.
dupa. Yeah. It's not a thing which is like to be, or like establishable or established as being
Yeah, I mean,
cerebalsies.
you can see where the distinction's coming in here because the Tope Tapa comes in, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Is there a cheer there? Or
You
let's
have like these two like directly opposing kind of like ways of seeing things. Yeah. Uh I
And
mean,
then yeah, good.
you see what
And
I'm
then
saying?
right, de ni ta de, the difference between those two, Yimba is Dokbetaksam, is merely labeled.
Right, yeah. I mean, I didn't see it until the opposite of Zeusudrupa.
How nice. Yeah, the opposite of really there is Tokbetaksam.
Yeah.
Cool. Probably we agree in this school and even in the higher school where we don't accept that anything is truly established as substantial.
right.
Yeah.
Although I don't know. I don't know.
They
It
say
doesn't say it's truly established. We
well
might
the
have, do we have
definition
substantial things?
the sorry, we have substantial things.
In the middle way, we have substantial things, but they're not really substantial. Do we have substantial things in the middle way
Interesting search.
that are
Uh,
merely labeled as substantial? Are we
I
allowed
will
to do
say
that in the
that
middle way?
the way that they describe ultimate reality in this school is directly oppositional to the higher middle ways description of ultimate reality.
Uh-huh.
This one
Uh-huh.
in particular, I can't remember. I don't have the Tibetan definition in mind, but it is specific. They specifically say things which are not ultimate reality are things which exist without being a projection.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and then and so it is. It's like 100. It's diametrically opposed to the middle ways. So, but I don't know how the middle
So
way.
then, and this is Shayna, which means it's the other guy, right? Because the last words are Shayna. If somebody says this, and it seems like their last sentence is so, then that means that those two things being different is only what a dummy would say. That you can't say that they're different because their difference is just an idea, which would be an extreme that someone who doesn't understand that concepts exist in a certain way, right, would say. If someone didn't understand that something can exist merely through labels, albeit maybe deceptively, if someone didn't understand that, then they would say, well, then the difference between those two things can't exist, or it would be wrong, mi te par
Yeah,
to say that these two things are different, since the difference can't really be seen.
and I was wondering if the mite that Shena actually just applied to this last line or not.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
I'm guessing not, but
From this,
I can see why you would think that.
Okay, so then at least maybe we have some more sense of what we're attacking
yeah,
in 460, that's
yeah.
the idea
We've
that
been,
we're up against.
we've been going off on it, man, because we did an outline like at the beginning of the year. We got a new outline of the next 20 folios or so, and he kind of goes off on this like super aside for a little while. So we've kind of been talking about similar stuff for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, uh,
Yeah. Oh, good. This is great. Then this does follow, you see? Yeah, good. This is good. So then we go back to what we said earlier. Consider all stuff you could know. If it's deceptive, which for us is synonymous with Tokbe Taksam, if it's
yeah.
merely labeled, which is, by the way, synonymous with Tokbe Taksam, probably in this school and the middle way school,
Yeah.
because everything is Tokbe Taksam is just labeled into existence.
Hmm.
Then you can't even say it's existing. I guess we're saying is what they're saying. We're accusing them of saying that that means that if something's deceptive, it doesn't exist because they're saying that it's Tokbe Taksam. And if something is Tokbe Taksam, then it is
Okay, there's a distinction here though. KJ uses ngunsum, right? And down here he uses tsema. Okay, so the difference between a direct perception and an accurate direct perception, which is why I went looking for the shijrup here. Can you see that? I mean, it's subtle, right? But not all direct perceptions are accurate, correct? You see what I'm saying? So there's something from what I've been meditating on and thinking about is how or why that plays into this, why that plays into a rebuttal, a refutation, how or why this next line uses accurate perception.
Yeah.
And we're super comfy, but I was hoping you would look at this last line and help me work it out, man.
Yeah, 460.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that Sema and the bop and I don't know. I mean, Sema can also mean correct, right? Like just without perception or not. But I think with the sa instrumental particle, it's by that valid perception, which bop because by that valid perception that that bop you put outflow. I don't know. I think it just means like in tenla bop, like presenting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that having a valid perception that comes about would then damage, nipa would go against what you're saying. So
presenting your argument that way would harm.
This presentation is, that's good. This presentation is overturned by accurate perception. Accurate perception contradicts this position, essentially.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's kind of why I put this down here, because you can establish.
I like it.
But the thing is and the reason you go down here, right, is because what's the kind of, I mean, the main point of the definition of Shidru, right, is accurate perception, right? And what are you doing? You're considering all existing things.
Yeah, it's saying Tokbe Takbe Tam. If all things are indeed merely a
label.
Yeah, a labeled projection or whatever, a labeled label, then any valid perception would then undermine what you just said. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, I'm going to come back. I'll massage the translation.
Okay.
We'll go over it when Geshe is here.
Awesome.
All right, 461.
Thank you.
Tade yamba tope tap sam yena. Tade yamba mi te gupam buto. If you disagree, if tade yamba, so if something is distinct, tope tap sam yena, it's hold on. Yeah, it's merely a construct.
Or is it saying if something is distinct and thus merely a construct, then
if something is distinct, where would you get the thus? Okay, and thus.
Oh, because it's yin na.
Yeah. You gotta have the if. I get tied to the if then statements when I start hitting nas.
I didn't see where it goes yet, so I could still be wrong too.
Yeah. Tade Yimpam Mite Gupamba.
Yeah.
You blow your position.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah. If the difference between things merely exists conceptually or through labeling, then you would have to be saying that it's wrong in that case for those differences to exist.
Yeah.
And you'd be a dummy. That's a stupid position.
Yeah.
Spit out that naughty position of yours out your mouth, please.
Say it again, Kramer. I didn't get it.
Yes, if you don't agree with that, then you'd be taking a position which a despicable spit on a pole position, which is that if the difference between things, ta de yin ba, is tokbe taksam merely labeled, then it's inappropriate mite to say that there's a difference between things.
Right. Oh, so they're
Good.
saying if something's tokwe taksam, then it doesn't exist?
Yeah, if your position
It's
is
cool.
that when something is tokbe taksam, then it doesn't exist, it can't be established, then
Oh,
then
got
that
it.
means if a difference is conceptual, then you can't say it's different.
Got it. Yeah, I got it now. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I spit on your shoes if you think that, he says. Puh, puh,
Uh,
puh.
yeah. Okay. So let's 462. Want to hit 462?
Might as well.
Yeah. Bon pala juk juk yimpe gyut sengi bon padan ngopo zechi yina te ngopo yang tong go she mawa yang.
Okay, well,
Can you
let's
read-
go real slow.
And I would have to say too that Geshe Michael does not like using quotation marks to establish something as belonging to a category. Like it's, you know what I mean? And I sometimes I get in the habit of doing that when I'm working through translations.
Mm.
So working things as the category is kind of what I mean here. And he said, I think that it was being too direct. If I remember his like exactly what I said, like you want to leave it up to the reader a little bit more.
Adam, can you read your English for the audience?
Oh yeah, dude. If the reason that the direct perception which holds a coffee cup completely engages the coffee cup is because the coffee cup and quote working things are such that to be one is to be the other substantially, then we can say that you must be seeing quote working things.
Sure. Okay.
You must be saying that if they're Zhe, then you must be saying that you can see the category of working things.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
in one way, like when you really start thinking about it, it does appear that way.
Right. Like the C10?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it can't exist. So the C10 can't exist without something instantiating it. A coffee cup, like an actual coffee cup. Right. And so one of them has to come, like it comes into exist just in the same way that it has the quality of being a working thing is the same. I mean, not the same, but is parallel to the quality of being a changing thing, which is what we started off by talking about. And so if you say that when you see sound, you see the quality of being a changing thing, then you could also say that when you see sound, you see the quality of being a working thing directly.
Got it.
So, Bunzin, right, holding whatever or Bunzim Munsum, right, a direct perception which holds a coffee cup, right, which is looking at a coffee cup. Okay, that
Perceives?
Yeah, that's great.
But
Yeah, totally.
completely engages.
with a direct perception, yeah, then the thing, oh, it is the thing that you are looking at, right? But like because since Gyutsen Gi could be since, right? Since it's the thing that you are looking at, Drup Chup, is
Yeah,
that what that is? The thing you are looking at is
it's the way that, so like when you look at a coffee cup, if it's red, right? The quality of it being a red thing is something that so basically what it's saying is you engage with all the qualities of an object when you engage with it. That's why the completely engage is there. Because when you engage with a sound, you're engaging with you're engaging with the object and all of its qualities simultaneously. This is kind of the last time we talked, Ben, I said that one of the ways I was thinking about sense data now was in a packet data way. Like when you think about information theory and protocols and, like there's a lot of information that comes in a single object. And like, it's got the quality of being silver. It's got the quality of like, being changing. And also it's got the quality of, what we're looking at right now.
yeah, and then if that's true, then essentially that would mean Bumpa dang nopo ze chik yin na, which
Yeah.
means, and is there an order necessarily when you say that, right? To be one is to necessarily be the other, okay? Ze chik is how Geshe sometimes likes to translate that. Is there an order, like which comes first is necessarily the other thing? Like to be one is to be the other.
Hierarchical way. He did
Well,
make it,
right.
yeah,
We talked about that.
yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah.
Is there grammatically a rule to if you have thing A and thing B, and you say that to be one is to be the other, that you know which one would be the bigger group or which one would be the subgroup in that
yeah,
relationship?
it's whether or not dong comes before the zechik.
Mhm.
If dong comes before the zechik, then it's a three-way relationship. Excuse me, it's musum. So it's one way.
Yeah. Got
Okay,
it.
so here it's meaning that here it's two-way?
Dude, I mean, look, this is we're all dealing with this at the same time, man.
Oh, is that how you're taking that? I mean, when you say
I'm
dong
taking
coming
it,
before,
and well, this is the battle that's going on in my mind, dude, in between the
yeah,
two
I
schools.
know.
Like how you answer that question is really what depends on what worldview you're carrying. What hat you have on. From the second school, you have to say that it's one way.
Yeah.
You have to say that
Well,
that
and Bumpa is necessarily, a coffee cup is necessarily a working thing. I think we can all agree to that.
not all working things are boompas.
Right. But since you're saying
Mhm.
that when you see a coffee cup, you see all of its qualities, right? Then that means that since you say when you see a coffee cup, you see all of its qualities, and since to be a coffee cup is to be a working thing,
Mhm.
well then,
Or seeing.
that must mean that you have to be seeing working thing
Yeah.
when you're looking at a coffee cup.
Yeah.
According to that guy. I think this is still an accusation. And Tong, he uses, C seems to me to very much be implying
Direct,
eyeball. What do you guys think?
direct perception. Yeah.
Your eyeball should be seeing workingness, which my guess is not what we're going to decide we accept, but so he's probably still accusing the other guy of saying when you're looking at a coffee cup, your eyeball sees its changingness or sees the quality of being changing.
Want to head into some uncharted territory here?
Wait, okay.
Okay.
I have one quick
Yes, great.
question.
Yeah.
Between 461 and 462, what did we say?
I don't see any reply.
So it ended there? And this is
No, I
something
mean, I guess it's a continuation of the same argument.
right.
I think he's just like, oh, if you say this, then you would kind of, you would be refuting yourself, right?
Mhm.
And then he comes back and starts attacking him another way.
Mm.
I think so too.
It's furthering his point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You blew your position.
Fortunately,
This is what would
go
happen.
ahead, Nick.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Not at all. No, thank you.
Well, the thing is I think we're all on the same page though, and I think we're interpreting the text correctly so far. I mean, it all has been kind of straightforward. I mean, from that, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
everything we've gone through hasn't really given me that much, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems to be clear that the position that he's taking.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we're on to bunny fluffy paratrooper. Keep going
Right.
and see if we can circle back to
Hey.
understanding. Let's see if it stays consistent. I'm sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
No, man. No, dude. Dateir ngopo tongwa yi yunten tadak tongwa ni chepe shungi dun tope lodro mepar dra chi jesu champe bakol he to che ki suk ke che chame yemba ye dame.
Mm.
Okay, you can see
Whoa.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, by seeing working things,
Yeah.
Yunten Tadak, all of its qualities, you're seeing all of its qualities.
Yeah.
Is it by
If that's
seeing?
what
Or excuse me, or is it
By
when we are seeing? I know it's a yi and it's by, but at the is it day cheer? Therefore, nupo tongwa yi. When we see the working things, junten tadak, we're seeing all these parts, all the qualities, tongwa ni, just by seeing them.
Dude, I love doing this with you guys.
well, and this is quoting the Pramanavartika, right? That's a direct quotation. Chepe shung, excuse me, chepe shung. Right. And you can see it's clearly in verse, right? Oh, look.
Yeah, that's why there's a double shay. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, tupe, ngepar, mi jepe. So lest we take that at face value, we don't accept that. Even though we're quoting the root text, it seems like we're quoting the root text, giving a false idea of someone else. Which is a danger. It's a good thing Geshe Michael went and found the root text, or we could be in trouble here.
What's a nyachi again? A fish? A fish that looks like silver? What's that?
Oh no.
Where do you see that?
First line root text 96b tunpa tongwa le nyachi.
No word. We don't have to know the answer to that for this one. How dare you?
Okay, go on, but I'm looking.
Oh, mother of pearl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The silvery aspect of pearl.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, the Tongwani chepe shungi dun. I say so. Our primary root text is quoted as right. The meaning of from the prominent Arctic because I think in this school the shung is referring directly to the prominent Arctic.
Yeah, I think so.
Dun tope. So, what about okay? So. Can we say that dun well, let's say Tokpe Lodro. I'm just spitballing here. Could that be equivalent to Tokpe Taksam?
I doubt it.
No, it's like a Arya's mind or something. Somebody who
it's just saying it's just saying the intelligence, the intellect of a person who's realizing the meaning of what it says in the Vartika.
I think so, yeah.
But it's a genitive. Why is it a genitive?
Why not?
Okay.
Into the understanding of in the mind of someone who realizes or of the. Oh, I see what you're saying too.
We got
the
maple.
mind which understands.
Yeah,
Realizes? Okay.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think that in this school, Tokpa with a sa sometimes just means you know it,
Gets
right?
it.
It's not as fancy as in the middle way where Tokpa realizing the thing is a
Realizing
much
everything.
bigger deal. It just, I think maybe like Shay and Tok with a sa are much closer, knowing something.
Right.
Okay.
And-
Because you Tokpa things, you realize things just with a tsema. An accurate perception knows things in this school accurately.
And in this
Well-
particular sentence, I think he's just saying you don't understand the meaning of the root text. Like if you say that, you don't possess that kind of understanding in your mind.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there is no understand. There is no, yeah.
You don't have it. It's like MEPA in the
Yeah.
sense.
There's no
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's not until yeah, it wouldn't be said by someone with intelligence.
Yeah,
You ain't got the brains to understand the meaning of these words.
Yes, of these particular
Okay.
words.
Drachi. Samgi.
Just a drachi.
Oh yeah.
You're just like the
Wow.
guy talking about the Eiffel Tower who ain't seen it,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know what coal means though? Is that like a
Bob Chul means random.
coal?
Yeah.
Bapchul. Yeah, you're just spouting off random stuff you heard about without
Yeah.
knowing what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, great. That's wonderful. Yeah,
Oche-
totally.
Chame. So indivisible parts, form, which doesn't have any parts.
Whoa.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So does it exist or does it not exist?
Uh-huh. It doesn't have any moments. Is that what that says? Like it's a
Well, that's suit. It's the suit.
it doesn't have
Suit
form.
chame. So
Okay,
yeah,
either one.
form and yeah, and moments of consciousness. Yeah.
Do they exist or not? Is he saying Yadame?
Tokche. Well, Tokche, this would be the wrong belief of hold on. Sorry.
No, take your time. We're all
Yeah.
needing that time.
Yeah, Tokche Kisuk
It's
means like stuff with which gets in the way of stuff. Like real stuff, like as opposed to like empty space lacks this. This is like obstructive material or something. Obstructive, like partless forms which are like obstructive, partless forms which get in the way of other stuff. Real stuff, real partless particles, which should be what a substantial thing is.
That's how they describe it. That's the only thing that's real in this school.
Yeah, is it there or not? Yodame.
All right, dude.
Oh my God. Wow.
Mena. Boom su keche chame yumpa yipa buh.
If it ain't there,
Say it doesn't exist, then you're kind of refuting yourself. Where you above, you had mentioned that that the form of a coffee cup, or would this be? Yeah, that it's partless. Hold on.
If it ain't there, let's go back.
Yeah, how about this? If you're saying that the difference between things, I mean, maybe, right? That you see every quality when you see a thing, right? Then are those qualities or like the difference between things, do they do they exist do they
Okay,
exist
well,
substantially,
this is
right? Then is that made of partless particles or not? Is that
okay.
made of real stuff?
He specifically, once again, he brings up Kche, right? So
Mhm.
okay, boom suk. Are we talking about the visual appearance of a coffee cup, right?
Is it
Could
just
be visual.
physicality of it? I think it means
I
The,
physical.
think so. I think
okay.
so.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the physical form of a coffee cup, and I probably wouldn't translate it that way. In
Yeah.
just provisionally, right? Reshik.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kachik Chame. Now, this is where I think, we just because I kind of like talking about these things, and you were the few people on the planet that I can kind of just like talk with about this stuff. Kachik Chame. So the individual moments which make up a single coffee cup, right? You have a coffee cup on your office table, right? And that thing is changing from moment to moment. However, there is an overall kind of continuum of that thing. That's what I'm wondering about what he's talking about right here, because he didn't say Dultrin. He says K Chik
Yeah.
Chame.
Yeah. Is he saying chame or chame?
There is no aspect I mean, Kadrip J and Gyatso J both kind of seem to play with there's kind of subtle distinctions like that. Like there's double entendres, kind of coming
I
through.
didn't follow. I'm sorry. What are you asking again? Word?
Chame.
Because we've been using cha to mean like a part or condition. So in this instance, are we saying a kachik cha me? Are we saying a kachik, which is cha me?
Yes.
Doesn't exist.
You think it's both?
I
Because
think it
you know
is
Kachik Chame.
indivisible.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think so because that's a real thing.
Mm, yeah. It's a real thing, not a real thing.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just
is Boompa Souk? I mean, is Boompa? Um, I think that he's saying that I don't know, you would have to, well, the yupa at the end bothers me, but we wouldn't say, obviously, no one thinks that a Boompa is indivisible. And I'm hoping that he's trying to say something as outrageous as that somehow you would have to be saying that you can't break a coffee cup.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can't.
that's why there's a buh at the end. He's like,
Right. Come on. What are you saying? You can't break coffee cups?
Are you
and
saying
right.
a coffee cup can't have parts?
yeah. He's saying, yeah, if that I don't know why it starts with may not, because it looks like he's saying
At
Because
this,
because it
it's
said
it's
you're
Yodame.
dame.
no, I know, but then why does he throw so the yeah is the absurd consequence, the way he phrased it here.
If you
He
say they
said
don't exist,
Yeah, they
then
don't.
but and
And
then
they're
you have to
partless.
that just up like from in our last class, it was either in our last class or the one before. Our opponent took the position that Boomsuk Kechik Chame.
Hey,
Mhm.
hey guys. Um, by the way, if we scroll up for a minute,
Uh,
um, Geshe Michael, look, look, all caps,
yes, it's
don't go
helpful.
yet. He tried to help us.
It's helpful. Oh
Hey
my
guys who
goodness.
think you're so clever.
All
Don't
right.
mind if we do.
Let's see if this is helpful in any way,
This would
if we
be
read it.
the new part, right? So it would say that that when you see a working thing, you see all of its aspects, all of its qualities,
Mhm.
all of what's
just
going on.
just by looking, just by seeing it.
Just by
Mhm.
seeing, then
Ship it,
It's
John.
it's a mistake which cannot cannot be ascertained. You can't say it's definite. You can't say it's certainly that way.
I will also submit that what Geshe Michael presumably would do would be to try to translate the explanation of this verse before we try to understand the root text, just
And
in case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Geshe, Geshe, want you?
Yes, and especially if he went through the trouble to provide it.
Yeah.
Let's see if this is the missing verse
So the
to our brains.
direct perception, which holds a sound.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Dry Che Kun. So this is, could we I mean, I wonder if we could use the Che here as yeah, like talking
All the
about all the
aspects.
aspect. Yeah, it's into all of its different kind of
Yeah, all
I was thinking that.
qualities.
Yeah.
like every facet of sound or every
Yeah,
part of sound. Yeah.
yeah. If
Three
you
out
Then
of four,
see it, yeah.
three out of four people who don't understand agree.
yeah, yeah, man, not taught la sopa gusto.
Wait,
Uh,
tongue must be metaphorical, right? We're talking about sound.
yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Or
when
to
you
perceive, yeah, just to
perceive,
right?
perceive. Yeah.
Yeah, perceive. But
I
it's
think we
funny
saw
that
that
it's
above
tongue of
too.
all words.
Yeah, totally.
It was a funny way to say that, though.
Raw, we could taste it too.
Yeah,
Um,
And corpse it.
yeah.
Man.
Also,
Okay.
so you're saying you can hear it, but not also not ascertain it. Not ascertain.
Even though
mm,
you
You
don't
can't. Yeah, you
So-
also can't make certain the fact that it's a changing thing. You can't
Mhm.
establish that.
Mhm.
Tripe. Knock
You know,
down talk. What's
do you
knock
guys-
down talk here mean?
Which one? Not gonna talk. So speech and labels, maybe.
Maybe.
It would also be nice
Word
because
and the
we're reading, maybe not, but because we're reading the Pramanavartika, for thought to mean reason, hetu, would be convenient here. Doesn't mean it's true.
What's
Um,
how does that? How would I feel like the knock and the talk would have to be parallel, kind of, in the way that we would interpret them. Like they'd kind of have to go in a pair, right?
Yeah.
I guess it
can't-
doesn't have to, but it
No, it
seems.
doesn't necessarily have to, but that's kind of like, that's
Yeah.
what my intuition is kind of going that way.
Yeah, there is a lost sokpa there. So it could be like, stuff like speech and I don't know,
Thoughts.
labels. Yeah, thoughts,
Yeah.
yeah.
labels, like I think like you said,
Okay.
right? Words you say or ideas you impute, stuff like that.
Your speech and your thoughts.
Mhm.
Things that okay. So this g.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got okay, and then which mita par drip. Sometimes when I see drip, I just use B, like instead of like can be established or like almost
Oh,
like a yin
Can't exist.
yeah, are. Yeah,
like,
are.
R,
We
right?
talk about are changing.
Yeah, like sometimes I try to stay
Oh.
from just always using like can be or is it established as or
Probably mostly unnecessary.
Okay. If you can't see all the qualities of a thing directly, if it's not clear, right? Mange, you cannot be certain of it, then establishing dramitakpa, the changing nature of sound, would have to be something, I don't know, which involves words, reason, stuff like that.
Yeah, which is
Right?
kind of
You'd have to use words and reasoning and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
to establish,
reasoning.
since you can't see it.
Uh-huh.
you-
I
Yeah,
think
you
you're
need
right. I think it's the reasoning here.
you got it. You got it. That's right. Because that's the whole point of the section, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
remember I kind of started ranting a little bit and then pulled myself back in. That's kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah, you got
So
it.
now let's look back at the root text and see if that helps us.
All right. What about the Trulping Chepe?
Yeah, my Nepal Miche is the same as Nepal Miche is the same as my Nepe.
Mm.
Okay. So you can't it'd be mistaken. To not ascertain them that way, to not think.
Yeah.
Mistaken things cannot be ascertained.
Would be mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about the how
their existence, that est pe mi jepe, that by that lack of ability to ascertain mistaken things, oh, is how you engage in their existence. That's what it says.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Uh,
that's crazy because it feels like you're going through like a negation in there.
yeah, right. Hold on a minute there.
Would
We have 4 minutes, just so everyone knows.
but
Thanks.
we started a little late.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, we can go over.
Uh,
Just heads up.
Like 5 minutes.
Just a couple minutes. Yeah. I think 5 minutes sounds reasonable.
So you come to establish things by being unable to come to some certainty about what is wrong about them. Which maybe, right? But this would come very close to this idea that Dharmakirti is kind of famous for, which we didn't really get to yet, that about establishing the conceptual through negation. And
Yeah.
so I'm wondering if he's making a statement about this, that you are engaging in, okay, Rab Tujukpa, you are engaging in this proof or this establishment, this drupa, by not coming to some other kind of certainty, by something else not being shown to you, which, by the way, isn't true. A thing that isn't true won't be shown to you.
Yeah, I think he's saying specifically by not ascertaining things which aren't true.
Yeah. By the fact of you not coming to some certainty about what a coffee cup isn't, you come to some engagement with what it is.
Now we're gonna need puppy rainbows, man.
Dude, I should think.
Yeah, but if you say they exist, Tedan Beto Perek Jani Zechik Kaham Tade. Self and the touchability that the cup possesses. Those are two aspects of it, right? If you're holding a cup in your hand, okay, so if you say exists, then it either has to, so the touchability of the cup that you're holding in your hand has to be substantially one, and I know Geshe doesn't like that translation, but has to be substantially one with or separate the cup.
Yeah. Is one necessarily the other, or are they different things?
Once again, that's is it two-way relationship, one-way relationship?
Yeah. Or not, no, this is could be a two-way relationship or a one-way relationship, but in either case, right, if to be one is to be the other, whether it goes one way or both ways, right? Is it the case that to be one is to be the other, or is it the case that they're different?
Well, this is interesting because if you frame it for like, say it this way to yourself, to be the cup is to be the touchability of the cup.
Yeah, right. Because cup belongs to touchable things.
Totally. And if they're coming in a singular packet of sense information, then you have to say that.
Right.
Well, Tadena.
Oh my God.
You say they're separate, dude. Rangi yenlak ledze tade yempe yenlak chin misipamba.
And its own parts are substantially separate.
Yeah, totally. You'd have to be able to separate them out, right? And one of the reasons I think we established earlier, like 2 or 3 classes ago, that anything that is substantially one with another thing has to come into existence and grow along with that thing. So if you're saying, the reason I say that is because, like, if you're saying that the parts are separate from the thing, then you must be saying that they're substantially different and that they don't come into existence and grow along with the coffee cup. So I mean, does that follow? Do you guys see kind of where I'm going? Like the definition of we went through the definition of being of Zechig. And one of the aspects of being Zechig
Yeah.
is like the coffee cup and the touchability of the coffee cup have to come into existence at the same time. And they have to grow and stop at the same time. Right? So anytime the coffee cup comes into existence, and by grow, I think it just means progress along a continuum, right? Anytime the coffee cup comes into existence and it's sitting there in my hand, every moment that I'm feeling it is necessarily part of that coffee cup, right?
Yeah. You're
Mm.
saying it would be impossible for the thing to possess those substantial qualities which are different than its own substantial qualities, which are different than it.
You'd be, it's impossible for the touchability of the cup to be separate from the cup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we're considering that rekja as a yinlock of a
Mhm.
book.
As yet another way to say component.
Yeah. And
Right.
then
Yeah, right.
A necessary component.
you're blowing your position where earlier, dude, you just said it was impossible.
Hmm.
Yeah, its parts different from that Z, right? Zeta de from that lay. Substantially different from
But
the thing would have to
I-
be,
sorry.
it's impossible for the thing to be substantially different from the thing it possesses. And I think it is, I don't know. Is
Well,
it, I mean, here's the question, right? Is how different from a cup is the changing nature of a cup, right? That's what we're trying to figure out.
if you're talking about a singular cup, you almost have to say that physically they are indistinguishable. But mentally, as soon as you start distinguishing aspects of anything, that's the conceptual realm. But physically, they're all like bound up, they're all kind of this unitary thing, you know. But it's not. I mean, it's like a paradox. It's a straight up conundrum, because then you'd be saying that, oh, like coffee cup doesn't have parts. And he's drilling down right here too. So he goes even further down to the Zechik, right? Zechik, is it okay if I move on? I mean, I feel like we understand what it says.
We're reaching time. I mean, I think we've done a good job. I mean, it's good. We could do one last one. Oh, look, there's a period at the end. Okay, you got me.
Right. Zechik, Dezin Mikshaki De Rekja Yang Tong War. Oh.
Aha.
If they're the same,
Okay.
substantially the same, right? If they're one and the same, the cup and its touchability.
Yeah. And make sure then the eye consciousness and the
which sees that, right? Denzin Mikshe.
Yeah, with the rec jaw too, though.
Form, yeah.
Yeah, which sees the the touchability, because he used touchability for rec jaw just above.
Interesting.
Then it sees that thing's touchability, right? Then you see the thing's touchability.
Positive perception. So Geshe is using positive perception here for the juke that we were talking about as the completely engages up atop. Right. Yimpa.
Yeah, right.
So it's split reason. It's either this. Oh, hold on. It is A because of A and B.
Yeah.
So because the touchability is one and the same as a coffee cup. And
no, not because the touchability. Sorry.
So you get the because the touchability of the cup is such that to be one is to substantially be the other.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
and then
slow down. In our last moments, let's say that again. For the translators wwho might not have followed you, so it wouldn't be me.
yeah, so because the touchability of the coffee cup is such that to be one is to be the other substantially.
To be it
Uh,
is to be the coffee cup.
to be is to be the coffee cup. Another way of saying it. Kong shik. So that would be A. Or excuse me, A would be up here. That would be B.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Hello.
And because it's engaged with in a positive as a positive perception,
Yeah.
right? Those would be that would be the split reason given. And this tell would be going up here, right?
So
Uh,
they
So
Chik Yina, if they are one and the same, we could say if to be the touchability is to be the cup,
mhm.
then the eye, whatever, the visual awareness that sees that, it sees
the fact that it's
um
touchable. I think it's
it,
sarcastic.
it sees the cup's touchability because um the touchability is because it wholly engages in that thing, because to see the thing is to see everything about the thing,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and uh that thing, and
It's
to be
part of
that
it.
thing is to be touchable.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So I
think
guess you see its touchability.
yeah, it's definitely which is sarcastic down, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Corsum K. So that's accepted. Uh, we were supposed to. Geshe Michael was he kind of we know that Corsum is something that has to be present in order to fully prove something. And
Right. Well, I think he's saying that the other guy agrees that they're different,
Mhm.
um, but thinks that that difference can't be established conceptually. So we're trying to show that it's equally stupid to think that somehow your eyeball can see its touchability, or your eye awareness can see
That's interesting.
its.
The other guy doesn't think that. The other guy doesn't think that they're different. The other guy
Well, it's
says that it's
he.
impossible that they're separate things, that they can't
Oh
be
no,
separate.
I think we're saying that you'd have to be saying that. But on the other hand,
A little, yeah.
um, right, would that be a stupid position? And I think he's doing something very cute here, which maybe whatever, I spaced out for a second.
Yeah,
But he's doing something very cute in using the word donghua with the word rekcha,
yeah, yeah, completely.
right? He's saying, I guess you can eye sense power the
And
object of touch sense power.
Right.
in the second school, one of the things and maybe in the Abhidharma as well, but I believe in the lower two schools, the sense spheres have to engage with objects in separate moments. They can't be active at the same time.
Mhm.
So ear consciousness can't be active at the same time that the tug consciousness is. It has to happen in succession or in discrete kind of moments.
I, I, sorry.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out that until about 3 minutes ago, 200 people somehow stuck it out this far. We've dropped
Sorry.
by, no, it's a miracle. We've dropped by only about 11 in the last 5 minutes. The fact that there are 200 people who subjected themselves to that sort of abuse is proof of miracles.
Yeah.
And I salute all of you who stayed with us in this process of trying to learn together and banging our heads against the wall of reasoning,
Yeah. Sorry. And next time,
which will be the name of my commentary to this work.
yeah. And I'll try. Yeah, try to be a little bit more prepared next time. And
Oh, dude, no, this was great. I just appreciate you bringing this to the table for today, and I think that it was kind of cool for us all to just look at it together freshly.
I really
You know,
enjoyed it.
I think
Really-
it's a good exercise for us as a team too to do that and just kind of explore together. All 200 of us that were here too, but
Yeah,
especially
thanks for the extra time. Yeah.
of course we should
Yeah.
though we should let people be free so they don't feel-
Dr. Word, are you staying and teaching?
Yes.
Thanks,
All
Good.
right.
If we go on any longer, now we've lost 12 now, so we should get out of here before Word has no students left. There are only 186 people left.
I'll get rid of the rest of
Um,
them. Don't worry.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, all friends, and thank you, Mixed Nuts and live translators. What on earth? How? How?
No, half of them just
Uh,
quit, so just kidding.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Nick.
That's fun, dude.
Thank
Really
you,
love
Word.
you
Thank you,
guys.
Apollo.
I miss doing this with you guys like at the college too. It's nice to see you guys. It's been a
Good.
while. Miss you guys.
Thank you,
Same.
friends. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, see you Saturday. Is it Saturday for everybody, or does it span the realm into
Monday.
Friday or Sunday for some people?
No, that's a Saturday for everybody, actually.
It's Saturday for everybody, on me.
Eh, it's just late night in Asia.
See you on Saturday. Enjoy Words class. Thank you for teaching Word.
Welcome.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, guys.